Hi, and welcome to Rest Stops, short features to encourage you towards greater life balance. My name is Caleb, and here's my dad with today's Rest Stop.
Nod your head if you have participated in Zoom meetings where a coworker starts to speak and forgets to unmute their microphone, and in unison, multiple participants respond, "You are muted." A sheepish "oops, sorry" is often the response. It's a common courtesy to mute your mic when you're not talking. It cuts down on background or ambient noises and helps those in attendance from stepping on one another while others are speaking. Often attendees simply forget to unmute when they want to interject a thought. Then there are those times when we wish they would stop talking and think to ourselves, please press the mute button. Opting to remain silent has its time and place in a number of different situations we might find ourselves in. For instance, choosing silence rather than immediately responding with our own word salad can give us time to think and process our thoughts, making certain that we move forward in a deliberate and constructive way. It allows us to fully engage in active listening, respecting and honoring others by listening to and hearing what they have to say. Choosing silence can be used to also cultivate self-control. In many situations, I struggle to remain quiet. I have a tendency to blurt out a response, interject my opinion, or interrupt others. The conscious act of being silent can strengthen our relationships with others if we instead choose to listen first. As I start the new year, my goal and desire are to listen more and speak less, to listen first and speak last. I plan to take Will Rogers' advice, who once said, "Never miss a good chance to shut up." Just as the Zoom video conference software has a mute button, perhaps it would be a good idea to mentally imagine and turn on our own internal mute button as we enter into conversations with others. One of the more important areas in our lives I would encourage you to master silence is when others attack by taking verbal shots at you. Rather than retaliating and reacting with a verbal barrage of our own, instead, master the art of the silent comeback. Silence can never be misquoted. This quote is attributed to Calvin Coolidge, the 30th President of the United States, recognized for his restrained leadership style and is packed with meaning and plenty of application. This profound statement provides insight into the power of silence. Now, at face value, this quote implies that silence, in the absence of words, makes misinterpretation or distortion impossible, unlike spoken or written words, which can be manipulated, taken out of context, or misconstrued. You don't have to articulate verbally to be heard. Silence is often misunderstood as acquiescence. However, it's a powerful communicator. In a world saturated with noise and constant chatter, silence becomes a refuge for our souls. Words are powerful and can communicate ideas, emotions, deep thoughts, and express our hearts and feelings. But words can also be misunderstood or misrepresented, resulting in unintended consequences. Recognize that a deliberate, conscious choice to remain silent and say nothing in certain situations is the wisest decision you can make. Intentionally remaining silent can avoid misrepresentation, misinterpretation, and misunderstanding, helping to defuse division and divisiveness. In those instances, silence becomes a strategic means of preserving and protecting unity, relationships, and reputations, and shuts down gossip in its tracks. Proverbs 10:19 says, "When words are many, transgression is not lacking, but whoever restrains his lips is prudent." I read a German proverb earlier today that says, "Silence is a fence around wisdom."